3, 2, 1.
Joe Corley here, and we're here for NAPMA Magazine. I'm with a longtime friend, Pat Worley. Pat Worley and I actually had we had one of those great fights where nothing happened back years ago. But Pat was really one of the greatest fighters in point karate in the history of the sport. Pat's brother John and he started the chain of studios here in Minneapolis after coming from the Juniorese School back in the late 70s. And Pat was actually one of the founders of this tournament here, which has become the Diamond Nationals, but in those days it was called the
All You Want to Know About Karate Afraid to Ask Tournament.
That's right. There was a book at that time called All You Want to Know About Sex, but We're Afraid to Ask. So in their sick humor, they named their karate tournament after it. Now, as you know, we're talking to people around the country about the importance of competition or the liability of competition, because there's a lot of people over the years have said, don't have your students compete, it's too much trouble, you lose your students, it's not good for business. And there's some valid arguments that these folks have. But you're a person who came out of a competitive school, you still run a competitive school. North Central Karate Association has got 6 tournaments a year.
Several tournaments a year. We cut back so we can be so demanding on the student body. And I'm a big believer in tournaments. And I think it's very important for business because it does help business. It gets people excited about martial arts if the tournament's done well and with organization, and also a good set of rules. Plus when a student goes to a tournament, if they win, they take their trophy and show their friends, and it re-motivates them to get excited about martial arts. Plus, when they see these good people come out, it helps them get better and motivates them to work harder, and just kind of keeps that passion going.
Now, when Pat and I were speaking a little earlier, he talked about what he just said. It's not just tournaments; it's the tournaments that you choose. So, what do you say to a karate instructor who's not in part of a North Central Karate Association, or like Jeff Smith has a group in the D.C. area that he works with? If you don't know where the good tournaments are, what do you tell them to do?
Check with your instructor, or check with me, or NAPMA. You can also go online because NASCA's got a really good set of tournaments you can go with.
Yeah, the NASCA National and World Tour is a great one, but let's say on a regional level, I guess that's one of the hard things for the instructors, isn't it? Trying to figure out the good from the bad.
It's very difficult, and it is hard because you have to know the people that are involved. So when they go, your students are going to get a safe tournament and one that's run well. You can't just say go to a tournament. You have to have some involvement yourself with who's giving the tournament.
Now, from NASCA's perspective, I think if you'll contact us at nasca.com, we can certainly give you direction on who to reach in your area. Now, from your perspective, your personal perspective, what do you think your time in competition ended up doing for you, Pat Worley, as you developed into a contributing adult?
I am very lucky, really, because tournaments allowed me to go all over the country, even parts of the world, at somebody else's expense and get a lot of exposure. And it did teach me a lot. It helped a lot in my confidence, and I just like to compete. And so I think it develops you as a person. But you can't make tournaments the end result. It's got to be about you. And we tell our students, because everybody complains about judges, and that to me is wrong. There are no bad judges, just bad competitors. If you complain about the judge, you're basically saying that I am so good I don't need to work. It's the judge. No, you need to get better, so the judge has to let you win. And that's been my attitude.
Well, that's a great attitude, and I think that's what many people would call a core value, a core belief. But we live in a victim society now, So if there are little league parents, that have hit each other with baseball bats over their children's performance, and I guess that's what a lot of people feel. They feel they're going to go to a tournament and they're going to have this little league parent syndrome happen. So that's back to picking the right tournament. But let's talk about the loss factor for a second. Don't you feel, or I should say it a different way, do you feel that teaching the kids how to deal with losing in an event is almost as important as teaching them how to win?
Absolutely. Nobody goes through life and wins all the time. Everybody knows Babe Ruth had more strikeouts than home runs. And they need to understand that that's part of life and part of learning. And it's not a loss, it's a learning experience. When you go somewhere, if you don't do well, you have to go back and look in the mirror and realize, why did I not do well? Get back in the gym. And it's back to you. Right, it's a victim society, and that's wrong. Take responsibility for stuff.
Well, Pat Worley has been one of the really great competitors. Boy, I used to love to watch him fight when he wasn't in front of me. I mean, I remember great fights with Howard Jackson and just some tremendous fights that he had. North Central Karate Association, give Pat a call. He can give you guys an idea about how to form perhaps leagues in your area that would be helpful to your students.